Hello, I'm Sinead. I am a mother of 5 and a homeschooler to 3. I am a second generation homeschooler. I also blog at thesimplemama.com, and today I just wanted to chat about minimalist homeschooling and why I think it is the absolute most sustainable form of homeschooling that anyone could ever take up. Hello, how are you? For my first homeschool chat, I thought I would talk minimalist homeschooling and just jump right into my homeschooling lifestyle and why I choose this way. If you are like me and you have a big family, you have young children, and you're trying to maintain some semblance of a simple lifestyle and not hectic and overwhelming, then I definitely think that minimalist homeschooling is something that you should try. Now, I just want to note that I have 5 children playing just outside, so you're going to hear them. Hopefully they're not too in your ears. Now, I am no minimalist in my home. I am not like a knick-knack maniac, but I don't strive for clean, sleek spaces and white on white, and not that that's minimalist, but that's the idea you get when you say minimalism. In our lives, we're told to, there's so many self-help books and so many podcasts and people that you can listen to on YouTube saying how to achieve more and be more productive and wake up earlier and make new habits and, constantly working hard and striving for more. In my time blocking and in my other life, yes, I'm into being as productive as possible. I don't think any of those qualities belong in homeschooling. I think homeschooling needs to be a really simple rhythm. It needs to be natural. It needs to be calm, and it needs to be sustainable. And sustainable homeschooling should fit naturally into your lifestyle. Minimalism is defined as a focus on things that matter. And in homeschooling, minimalism comes as a focus on your why. From the books you read to what you teach and the curriculum you use and what is important to you as an educator, what is important to your family, then that is going to shape the why, and it's going to shape what matters in your minimalist homeschooling. Minimalism in your homeschooling is an attitude. It's asking why to everything that you do in your homeschooling, from the books you read to the topics you teach to the curriculum you use. Knowing your why is going to help you make those sustainable choices. And when I say your why, I really do mean your why. You are the homeschooler, and whether you've taken your children out of school or your children are young and you're just starting, you have a reason why you're doing this. And for the majority of us, it's for a reason that we know that if we send our children through the public system, that something is missing, that something cannot be given to them, or they're going to get something that you don't want. And so we know that by keeping our children at home, we can give something to them that the outside world cannot. That is our why, whether it's for medical reasons, religious reasons, social reasons, whatever it is, it's because you can give something to your child that the outside system cannot give to them. And so when that is the most important thing to you, and if that's why you made this choice in the first place, then maintaining the effectiveness around your choice and maintaining your why in your long-term planning is where you can really get into your effective and sustainable homeschool approach. You should have your why written down as a mission statement, and you should have it somewhere that you're going to see often, because when you're making those choices on what to teach and what's important to you and trying to create that sustainable homeschool lifestyle, which I think is the key to homeschooling, then knowing why you're doing this is going to make you okay with doing as much as you can and not as much as you think you have to do. There was a study published in the journal Neuron, which went into, it does a study of children, young children, and they pretty much tried to figure out how much they were retaining the things that they learned. And the results weren't that great. 56% of what a child learns is gone by the end of the hour. 66% is gone at the end of the day, and 75% is gone at the end of the week. So if you're focusing a lot of time on the extra, then you're wasting a lot of your time. Your children just don't have the mental capability to remember it all. And I think we know this. We know that they're not going to remember everything. But then you ask the question of, well, what do they remember? And a child remembers things from two sort of avenues. One is repetition. They remember what is repeated to them over and over. You may have to repeat the same concept for 5 days and they will retain that concept and you can move on to the next concept. And interest is another way that we as humans recall information. If you're genuinely interested in something, you will recall the majority of that information that you learned. If you have zilch interest in a topic and someone's telling you all about it, odds are you're going to walk away and you're going to remember hardly anything. And it's the same with a child. If you create this really beautiful, engaging lesson plan and you give it to your child and you think you are doing an awesome job, if they're like 8 years old and they don't really care for it, then you're wasting your time. Because I'm like, look, I'm all for being engaging, but if you're just not going to not remember, then why am I doing this? Because it's not for me. Don't get mixed up in what's for the child and what's for you. You know, us as homeschoolers, as adults, we have peers, whether it's other homeschoolers, whether it's friends who don't homeschool, who are watching your child like a hawk, like measuring and making sure they know stuff. And they're not even really caring about mastery. The ability to read is declining in the Western world. We are getting dumber than ever, and yet we are saturating our children in more and more information. So something doesn't add up here. And I think it's the fact that we're so concerned with learning opportunities that we're forgetting the whole point of teaching your children. You're not teaching your children a bunch of facts. You're teaching your children life skills. You're teaching them how to learn. Change your mindset. No one expects their child to graduate with 10,000 facts under their belt. They expect their child to graduate school knowing they can move on to the next stage of their life, able to cope in society, to hold a job, to continue learning, to work in relationships, and to be able to function as a good, decent, honest member of society. That's what we want. And yet, I think that as homeschoolers, we get sucked into trying to give our children too much, and our children don't want it or need it. The grading by age system. The grading by age system is probably one of the most ludicrous systems that homeschoolers adopt into their lifestyle. Now, I fell into it with starting my first child. You know, he was 5 years old and he has a birthday in March, which means here in Australia, he is due to start school like the month before he turns 5. If I had have sent him to school, which I didn't, but he would have turned 5 and he would have been in school with children who had have turned 5 like 8 months prior. And there's no way that he would have thrived there. He would have, and I know from experience teaching him, that he very quickly fell behind. He was not interested. And looking back, what I know now about, you know, how to judge when a child is ready, he was not ready. I could have waited, I reckon, a good 18 months before starting him. And I've learned that now. Ditch the starting ages and ditch the grade by age system. It's a system that we don't need, that school systems have to use. They're teaching hundreds and thousands of children. They need to be able to show parents and show school boards that your child is moving up. It's a system that the public school system needs that we don't. We are not educating hundreds of children. We don't have anyone but ourselves to answer to. And essentially, us as homeschoolers, we answer and we work around our children. So why are we adopting this into our lifestyles? Minimalist homeschooling should be concept-based. You master a concept, you move on. Just do exactly what they're capable of and no more. Take time to repeat the subjects so they can master them, and just seriously, you got nothing to lose from ditching that mindset. A really important thing that you want to focus on in minimalist homeschooling as well is read alouds. Reading aloud to your children is crucial anyway, but you can really make a lot more of it when you're doing a minimalist homeschool style. You can use your read alouds to incorporate the extracurricular. When we're sitting down for our daily read aloud, I'm focusing on books that, while the children are very engaged by them, and also I know that we're starting a lot of conversations based on these books and what they learn, and I know that in a very informal but a very engaging way, I am able to deliver their extracurricular. The thing I love about minimalist homeschooling is everyone loves school time, including me. And even in the midst of young children and toddlers and messy house and, you know, cooking 3 meals a day, I still am able to consistently show up and deliver the same effective education every day, which is far better than what I was able to do when I first started. Even though I had less children, my house was messier, I was drained. When you have a massive workload and homeschool agenda and the plan and the boxes to tick, it's just draining, and it's so draining mentally to be there. And you could just finish school and know you got to do it again the next day. And now I don't feel that anymore. And so that's it. That's all I have to say on why I'm a minimalist homeschooler. I hope you found it a little bit enlightening. And if you're interested in learning any more about minimalist homeschooling, I will endeavor to post a new video every week on minimalist homeschooling, motherhood, and child raising. I'm going to be sharing all those tips and tricks that I have with you. So if you're interested, please subscribe. And until next time, bye.